This is what Lobachevsky says. If they're the ones that get into power, then that 5% everywhere are the new ruling class. And then you've got that 15% of supporters, and everyone else is just putting their heads down, getting by. In his 27 years of military experience, there's one thing that he learned, is that no matter what what number of like recruits or just troops you're dealing with, whether it's 50, whether it's 100, whether it's 1,000, because he's dealt with like you know, battalions, however big battalions are. I'm not a big military guy, like, and groups from like 50 to like 1,000 people or 800. He says in every group, he said, there's 5% of them are evil. He said in his military experience, he said in a group of 50, there would always be 2 or 3 people who were pure evil. And he said, if those people weren't removed, if they weren't identified and taken out, they would then influence the suggestible 15%, and the battalion or whatever grouping would be totally demoralized. Everyone else, the normal 80%, would do their jobs, but with their heads down. They would not be enjoying themselves. They would not feel like they're in a workable or just a working functional social unit. But that as soon as those 5%, whether it's 2 or 3 or more, were removed, that 15% would instantly switch to the 80% and everything would go fine. And he says that was like one thing that he learned in 27 years of military experience. And then he made the connection, the leap, he says, and I think that we have to keep that in mind for every other level of society, of government, of, you know, and any grouping of people, no matter where it is. It's not just the criminal class, you know, the underclass, that anywhere you look, you're going to get, well, more or less, because there's going to be variations, but more or less, you're going to get 5% of people who are pure evil. And if they get into power, if they're the ones that get into power, then that 5% everywhere are the new ruling class. And then you've got that 15% of supporters, and everyone else is just putting their heads down, getting by. And that's the history of totalitarianism in the 20th century.
Don't let it happen. It depends on you.